So today, guys, I'm going to be talking about 5 tips for playing multiplayer in Valheim, which to me has been one of the best experiences in Valheim, playing with other people, seeing all the cool things they build. And we're doing this video from the Kysen server, which is my multiplayer server. Currently has a community of 44 people, so if you'd like to join that, there will be a link down in the description for all of that. But we're going to look at the tips today when you're playing online yourself and with your friends and on other servers and stuff like that, as well as where to find some Valheim servers. So let's jump straight into it. Alright guys, so the first ability I wanted to show you today was actually the inspiration for this video with this comment right here on screen from Ethan. So Vori is good enough to come on to our server on Kysen, help me out today. Hey Vori, thank you for helping us out today.
Anytime.
Appreciate that. So the first thing he's going to do in a second is activate his Yagluth ability, and because I'm stood near him, I'm going to get that as well, even though I didn't even kill Yagluth or do that fight right now. So Vori, go ahead, Yagluth me up. Here he comes. And boom, the cosmic powers of Yagluth. So we now have Yagluth ability, even though we've never fought him, and even though it was just Vori who activated him. So that means that on your servers, you guys are able to, if you have a few of you, activate all different abilities as you're traveling through, and basically when you get the cooldowns on them, if you split them between you guys, you can have them running for pretty much the whole time. There doesn't have to be any cooldown, because when one of you hits your cooldown, someone else uses it. And so yeah, just a kind of cool thing, as I say, inspiration for this video, something that apparently not many people knew, so I wanted to show that for you guys today. So the next couple of things that I'm going to talk about are actually about keeping yourself safe on a server, because this is important. You never know who else is on there, and you can be accessing your things and stuff like that. And the best example of this is this thing right here, the ward, which as you can see there, currently active. It tells you the owner is Emma, and permitted is Zolfrog. So that means that if Zolfrog was here, he would be able to access this chest, but I cannot. You see that I've got no access. Similarly, I also cannot destroy things. It says there, the ward stops you, and I also wouldn't be able to build anything either. Basically, not only because I don't have the wood on me, but essentially the ward will stop you from doing all of that stuff. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make a ward and how to set it up so that you can keep yourself and your things safe on a server. Okay, so to make the ward, what you need to do is right-click with your hammer, and you can see here you need 1 Certling core, 5 Grey Dwarf eyes, and a 5 firewood. So then you can place it down near whatever it is you're trying to protect, and it has an area of effect. So if we go ahead and place that down right there, you'll see there right now it is inactive and I am the owner. So if I press E to activate that right now, that'll mean that only I am able to, for example, open this chest or build or destroy or any of that good stuff where the ward is. Now, just to say, wards are not entirely infallible, and neither are things around them. If you have a decent axe and a lot of time on your hands, you can destroy other people's wards and also these things right here, like buildings and stuff like that. Now, this is just the best that Valheim has to offer right now, and so I did want to make sure I listed it in the video, but I had to make sure that you guys are also aware of its drawbacks, and I don't want you to think that it is entirely infallible, because we're not there yet. Hopefully with a new update, something like that will be the case. Now, if I want to add someone to this, and I'm going to show you guys this in a second using Vori back on the Kysen server, but essentially you will deactivate the ward pressing E, you'll get other Vikings to come up to it and press E, and when they do that, it won't activate it in the same way that the person who placed it, in this case myself, activates it by pressing E. What it will do is it will just add their names to the list, so when I then activate it, they'll be part of the list. Again, I'm going to show you this in just a second on the server. Now, if you want to remove Vikings from the list, what you need to do is deactivate it and get those Vikings to come up to it and press E, and it will remove their name from the list. However, you can also just destroy the ward using your hammer and replace it. This will get rid of every single Viking's name that was on there, but also it might be a beneficial way of doing it, because obviously if someone is trying to hack you or something, they might not want to walk up to your ward and remove themselves from the list. So I think that's everything that you need to know for the basics. Let me show you how this works in multiplayer now, so you can do it on your servers if you wish. Alright, so we are at Vori's base right now to demonstrate this thing right here, which is the ward. So as you see right now, it is active. Vori is the owner, and he is permitted text. Vori, if you could go ahead and deactivate that real quick. So now it's inactive. You see here, I've got the option on screen to press E and opt in. So what that means now, if Vori reactivates the ward, it will protect everything nearby, and nobody apart from him, myself, and Tex, because we're permitted, will be able to, for example, open chests or build or destroy, open doors, all of that good stuff. So the ward is definitely the best way to protect your things on a server, and thank you, Vori, very much for demonstrating that for us at your lovely base.
Anytime.
So next we're going to talk about the personal chest. Now this does take 8 iron to build and also 10 firewood. If I place it down and we go ahead and open up, you'll see there are not many slots, right? There's only 6 slots down in this thing. What it does mean is that only I am able to open it. Now, that doesn't need a ward, it just means that I will only be able to open it wherever it is placed. Now, also, only I will be able to break it using a hammer. It can be broken with an axe, though, but I think if you use a black metal axe on this thing, it would take about 3 minutes of hacking away at it before you're able to destroy it. So it does take an incredibly long time, which means it is reasonably safe, but at the same time, not entirely safe. So a ward is still a better option. Personal chest does have some uses, and I thought was worth mentioning for this list, as it is really intended as a multiplayer Valheim item to ensure that you keep your things as safe as possible on servers. So another thing I want to mention will just improve your experience on a server, and that is if there's a lot of you on there, you do want to try and build your bases far apart from each other. So you can see we've got the world here right now, and when I say far apart, I'm not talking about you have to be at like different ends of the world or anything like that, but essentially, like if you've got someone building like where I am here on this map, then ideally you'd have someone building like maybe up here a little bit or over here a bit, as far apart as is like, you know, logistically available on the server, depending on the number of people and that sort of thing. That is because the lag on Valheim is done on a local level, so the local instances, which can be changed or increased, I suppose, when you terraform or when you build things, that's what's going to cause you lag. So if you're trying to like manage lag on the server, building far apart is a good idea. And if you have communal areas like communal towns or shopping centers or stuff like that, where you are getting a lot of people building in the same sort of area, one of the best things you can do is try to do as little terraforming as possible and just focus more on the building element, because the terraforming does create a lot of instances and will lag you out. So it's just a small tip, that one, but hopefully that might help with some lag for a few of you on your personal servers. So the final thing I wanted to mention today was this right here, which is a list of Valheim servers, and it will show you the location and how far away you are from that location, as well as the people that are online, the name of the server, all of that good stuff. So these are all free servers, and I will put a link to this down in the video description, so you guys can find a server that suits you if you are interested in looking for that. What letters are not in the alphabet? The ones in the mail. Why couldn't cavemen send cards? Because the stamps kept falling off the rocks. How do you know when the moon has had enough to eat? When it's full. What race is never run? A swimming race. Why was Cinderella no good at soccer? Because she's always running away from the ball. What did the blanket say to the bed? I've got you covered.